You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, a crash on I-49 near Anderson leaves multiple people injured.
Also, kids at Wildcat Glades gets hands-on experience with some local creatures you might be able to find in the water.
And as we say thank you to our veterans on this Memorial Day, Mother Nature saying thank you as well with one pleasant day out there. We'll have a look at that forecast, get you out the door, coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Amber Jenkins.
And I'm Chris Warner, just after 7 o'clock on this Monday, Memorial Day here in the 4 states. And a lot of folks, we want to, of course, thank those that have served our country, provided our freedom so we can be here today.
We are very thankful.
We certainly are. We have a number of veterans actually who are employed here at KOAM. Some of them are working today, others are not.
Yes.
It's a bit of a mix, but we want to thank them as well. Mother Nature thanking them today after all that severe weather, giving us a little bit of a break. And
that is true.
we'll talk more about that here in just a moment. But you know what else happens to come out a lot?
Creatures.
Creatures coming out as the weather gets warm.
Yes, and Missouri is home to hundreds of native species, many of which can be found in your local creeks and rivers.
Excuse me. KOAM Samantha Walker met up with some young naturalists as they searched for some native crawdads.
Me and some other kids, we got in the water and looked for crawdads, and today I found a claw.
As the weather warms up, many kids are taking the opportunity to become a little more familiar with the world around them. Dozens of young naturalists explore the waters of Wildcat Glades, hoping to find some native crawfish. And when kids like Stella Gamble find them, their excitement is clear to see.
I was like, what? Cool! I quickly went to show my mom, and then I went to show Maddie, the naturalist.
Naturalists with Wildcat Glades host a monthly Nature Explorers program, offering opportunities like this for kids to become more familiar with Missouri's wildlife.
It's very important for these kids to realize that humans are a part of nature. You know, we're not outside of the circle of life, and all this stuff impacts us, and it all matters.
In preparation of searching for crawdads, kids were able to learn about what crawdads look like, their ideal habitats, and how to safely handle them.
That was a crawdad.
As they take to the waters with their explorations, no stone is left unturned in hopes of finding a crawdad.
Looking for the crawdads, I also found 2 snails and maybe 3 sticks.
I really love nature, and I love what I do, and it's just the greatest honor to get to share that with kids and have them be so excited about learning.
For young appreciators of nature like Stella, the opportunity to be around wildlife is what makes her excited to explore.
I like listening to the birds, and sometimes if you get lucky, you could see squirrels. Ooh, and a butterfly.
Reporting in Joplin, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
For those who love crawdads and Wildcat Glades, the nonprofit will be holding its annual fundraiser, Crawdads at the Creek, on June 7th.
And you can learn more about this on our website. Of course, it's KOAMnewsnow.com.
You know, what do you call them? Crawdads or crayfish?
So, I mean, it's either or. I've heard them referenced either way.
Everybody says it like interchangeably, but I grew up knowing them as crawdads.
I kind of, that's what I more commonly call them, but you know.
Touche, tomato.
Exactly, exactly. And that's, you know, that's the way it is. To each their own, or something.
Yeah.
You know what else is going on today?
What?
Well, it's Memorial Day. We talked about that, but it's also going to be a calm, quiet day, which is something we need after, man, it has been one heck of a severe weather season across the area so far. Let's take a look outside, starting with our camera on top of the Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin. It is sunny, it is nice, and there are no clouds out there. MoDOT camera, 32nd in range line. We've got maybe 4 or 5 cars now. It's been relatively quiet out there on the roads as well. Most folks, of course, at home, they have the day off for Memorial Day, so it's been relatively deserted out there on range line and on 32nd Street. country. Temperatures, we had some upper 50s out there, but we are now warming up, low mid 60s across the area. And as we head into the afternoon, it will be sunny, it will be warm, it will be a bit muggy as well. Highs today, low to mid 80s. Northwest breeze will be a little nice breeze, about 5 to 10 miles an hour, but we're going to have some higher humidity levels today, so do be prepared for it to be a little sticky outside. We do have more rain chances on the way, however. Good news is, at least right now, no severe weather in our forecast. We'll talk about that in the full forecast, and that'll be coming up here in just a few more minutes. Amber?
Joplin first responders are investigating a crash of a car into a pool house. The incident happened in the Wildwood neighborhood of Joplin. Skid marks were observed in the driveway of the residence. The car crashed through fencing and then continued to fall off a 4-foot retaining wall before crashing into the resident pool house. Joplin police say the incident happened during the night hours. No one was found in or around the car, and an investigation is ongoing. Yesterday, Webb City police spotted a stolen Kia passenger car in their city. A short pursuit through Webb City, then south into Royal Heights, ended at Joplin's Everett Park as the occupants of the car bailed on foot. Joplin police assisted setting a perimeter and taking 2 people into custody. 1 person was detained by people at the park until police got him. Watch for updates to this story on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. A serious crash on I-49 leaves multiple people injured and having to be transported by a helicopter. The incident happened around 11:30 a.m. Sunday morning near the I-49 mile 10 mile marker. Deputies tell us the accident involved a van and an SUV. Traffic was diverted as emergency crews worked to help the occupants and clear the highway. Medical transport helicopters and ambulances were observed leaving the scene. Bates County law enforcement is assisting in the investigation into a small plane crash near the Butler Airport. Officials say they were alerted to the incident at around 1 p.m. Saturday afternoon. The pilot was not injured and was in fact able to parachute from the plane prior to the crash. Federal agencies including the NSB and FAA are conducting an investigation. Coming up next, members of the Joplin Outlaws will join us in the studios to talk about their upcoming games. And later, we'll see how one Kansas City student artwork may get featured on Google's homepage. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It is 7:10 now on this Memorial Day Monday, and it is looking fantastic as we get this day started. Clear skies and a nice light breeze, warm temperatures, and it's going to remain that way. That was our camera on the Cornell Complex. This is the MoDOT camera 32nd in range line, and yeah, not many cars out there this morning. Of course, it's Memorial Day. Most folks are at home. MoDOT camera, US 60, Missouri 59, Neosho, looking back to the west along 60. Again, more clear skies visible out there, and that's how today is going to remain. So we take a look at the future track. There is absolutely nothing out there. We'll have a light northwest breeze and temperatures warming into the low to mid 80s. However, by tomorrow morning, about 4 or 5 o'clock, we start to see some clouds out in southeast Kansas. And there's some differences and some variances on the models, but we are looking at the possibility of some showers, maybe a thunderstorm out there, but no severe weather. The bigger concern is if this shower activity lines up the way that the models are suggesting it might, we could see some localized flash flooding. Because take a look, this is 8 a.m., this is 10 a.m., and this is noon. Not a lot of movement over a several-hour period, and so that could lead to some flash flooding in some locations. But again, the good news is no severe weather. We head into the afternoon. This activity starts to clear out and move on out. Will be partly cloudy, and then clouds will begin to increase overnight ahead of more scattered showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms Wednesday morning. Again, no severe weather expected, but we could see some heavy rain here and there. And this activity will continue much like Tuesday into the early afternoon. It clears out, and will be clear most of Wednesday Wednesday evening before clouds begin to increase Thursday, and we see additional shower and thunderstorm chances. We're sitting at 64 in Joplin right now. Southwest breeze at about 3. Humidity is at 87%. That dew point at 60. So as we head into the afternoon, that's what's going to make it feel a little more uncomfortable out there. Around the area, temperatures into the 60s. We did have some upper 50s in the parts of southeast Kansas and northeast Oklahoma, but we're all on the warming trend now. Skies will be sunny and clear as we head through the morning hours. 78 by 11 o'clock this morning. Again, that's ahead of highs today. Low to mid 80s. More sunny skies, clear, and a light breeze out there about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Clear skies through the evening as well, down to 69 by 10. 61 for the overnight low, again, with clear skies. And it won't be until about 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow morning that we'll see those clouds increasing. As we head through Tuesday and Wednesday, again, morning showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms. Scattered storms Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And then another pause on Sunday, and we'll see more thunderstorm chances Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. Now, again, nothing out there screaming severe weather at this point like we've seen over the last several weeks, but we are watching the possibility of maybe some stronger storms Friday, Monday, and Wednesday. Again, nothing screaming severe weather, but we'll keep a close eye on all of that for you here in the Skywatch Weather Center. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Welcome back. We have Nick Weisenborn and Jeff Bader joins us in the studios to talk about their upcoming schedule and what we can expect from the Joplin Outlaws. Welcome to the studio and good morning, guys.
Good morning.
So, from my understanding, you guys have like a series coming up. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, we do. Our first home game is Thursday night at 7:05. We've moved to a new league this year, so we're playing 34 home games this year, so a lot more opportunities to come to the ballpark and enjoy some great promotions coming up.
That's pretty awesome. But you guys also have different things to expect during the series as well, or different themes, or?
Yeah, so we're going to have promotions all summer. We're going to do things like we have a Star Wars night, we have a Christmas in July. We've got giveaways all season. We're giving away mini bats with our logo on it. We have a hat giveaway night, t-shirts, pins, but we're really focusing on this first upcoming series. So our games are this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Thursday night is Thirsty Thursday, so we're going to have specials on all of our drinks and our Coke products. Friday night is Fireworks Friday, so every Friday we will have fireworks, so we're really excited about that. Saturday we have one of our sponsors, Power Alley, is going to do a hat giveaway for the first, I think, 200 coming in to the gate. And we also will have the Joplin Humane Society out there. They're going to bring out 10 or 12 pets that they want to try to get adopted. And so we're really encouraging people to come out there, check out the pets, probably dogs, maybe some cats. I don't know what they're going to have, but we'll be promoting those. So, and then Sunday is our family fun day. All of our games start at 7:05, but Sundays are 6:05. But we have a package special, so it's 4 tickets in our reserve seating. It also comes with a voucher for food at the concession stand. And that's 4 tickets for $40. So great seats, bring the kids.
Run the bases after the game, we'll have
Absolutely.
autographs, all that fun stuff
Yeah,
for the kids.
absolutely. And also seniors on Sunday will have a discount as well.
Oh,
So
I know, that's nice.
yeah.
But from my understanding, one of our own is also emceeing one of the promotions?
Yes, so Lindsay Gaffney is going to help us out. She's going to be there the first 4 games, I believe. So she's going to be there all of this first series. And then Elise Snow is going to be also helping out. So they're going to be out there doing the MC part.
All right. It's nice that KOAM has their hand in the pot as
Absolutely,
well.
yeah.
But let's just kind of rehash about the first series. The first game is this Thursday at what time?
7:05.
7:05. Is there anything else you would think the audience would want to know? I mean, it's a baseball game, so, but anything we should bring, anything we should think of?
No, just come on out and see a great ball game and a great opportunity to get together as a community and see some great baseball.
Before I let you guys go, I just have a quick question. What's the team up to right now? I believe they're out of town right now. Are they for a game?
Yeah, we were out of town the last weekend down in Sherman, Texas. They just got back last night. We're off today, but we're back at it tomorrow night in Fort Smith, Arkansas.
Hey, well, rest up before Thursday. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for being on the show and telling us more about it, and I'll let you guys start preparing.
Thank you.
Awesome, thank you.
We'll be right back after this.
Well, the Google Doodle, it's a chance to get artwork seen by who knows how many people.
Alan Schaub talks to a Kansas City student who may have that chance.
Hardest part about the drawing was the people.
Most kids know about it, adults maybe not so much, but it's a yearly competition all about creativity.
I used to be an avid artist back when I was in elementary school.
But when the soon-to-be Hickman Mills senior read about the contest online, she was all in, and just in time.
With a week before the deadline was due.
Winning students get a $55,000 scholarship for college and a check for their high school. So she started slamming. She focused on education and started asking friends what it means to them.
Everyone goes through the education process. So I kind of just thought like, wow, this is such an important part of so many people's lives.
So she came up with this design on her sister's iPad in the final days of the contest and entered it and won the state of Missouri.
I wanted my drawing to not just mean something to me, but I wanted other people to look at it and kind of relate to it as well.
Now it enters the national finals competition. Voting began May 22nd and will run through June 4th. Ultimately, Google will choose a final 5.
I wasn't expecting much. It was kind of just a shot in the dark for me.
But soon her design could be the light on your laptop the next time you power up.
Coming up, we'll take a look at the aftermath of Saturday night storms and how it affected people's Memorial Day weekend.
And we've got another check of your forecast, which thankfully, at least for today, includes no storms. That's when the KOAM Morning News returns.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:26. Newton County is just one area that received reports of damage following Saturday night storms. KOAM's Samantha Walker learned more about what damage residents are experiencing.
The hail woke us up this morning about 2 or 2:30, and but we weren't concerned with the hail, and then we didn't know the barn was gone till we woke up this morning and looked out the window.
In Seneca, behind me, is part of a shed roof that had to be moved out of the roadway after it was blown off by the severe storms. That's just part of the damage that's been found in Newton County.
I was shocked. Like I said, we didn't know the wind was that strong. We just knew that it hailed, but when I opened that kitchen window, I was pretty much shocked. My wife was still in bed. I ran in and woke her up and said, "You're not going to believe this, but half the barn's gone." And she got out right quick and come and look.
Shock is the feeling Ron Polk says he had when he learned his barn had seen severe damage following strong storms in Newton County. There have been no reported injuries in the county. The county emergency management director says that while damage was not extensive, there have been reports of downed trees, power lines, and outbuildings receiving damage. Some properties around the county saw small amounts of storm debris land on their roofs, and parts of Ron's barn are being found in his neighbor's pasture. He says more than anything, he is grateful the county didn't experience more damage.
We're blessed that the house wasn't touched, and that we're okay. So God was looking over the house, and just something had to go. The barn was the best thing. There was nothing in there except the tractor and the lawnmower. So.
Reporting in Newton County, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
The Newton County Emergency Management Director says that while damage from the storms in Newton County may not have been that severe, residents need to be aware of flooding concerns. She says those living in the southern parts of the county should take extra precaution and be prepared for the chance of flooded roads. Many Elk River campers started their day packing yesterday. Floating and canoeing trips were canceled because of the severe weather that hit the area on Saturday night. Some campsites asked visitors to evacuate the grounds as the river level was growing in the early hours of the day. Some campgrounds said they were sold out because of the holiday weekend, but they preferred to be cautious and avoid putting their customers at risk.
We have a clearance level that we do on the bridge if we can get underneath or not, and so stuff like that when we do see it coming up. We kind of have it predicted, almost to an art because it comes every year.
We're just going to float today. We're going to get drunk on the river, maybe fall in a couple times. We got beads for, reasons.
Besides the campgrounds, local authorities said it was also a busy weekend for them. From a car and a truck floating down the river to electricity being down. According to the McDonald County Dispatch Center, from 2 a.m. to 8 a.m. on Sunday, they received more than 100 calls related to the storm, twice as many as they would normally receive on those early Sunday hours.
And thankfully, we don't have any severe weather to talk about today. An opportunity to kind of dry out, catch up, but we do have more showers and storms on the way. Thankfully, at this point, too, no severe weather with that activity. Quick look outside. MoDOT camera 32nd in range line. Again, just a handful of cars. Of course, today's Memorial Day, and lots of folks have the day off, so the roads are a little more deserted than usual this morning. Temperatures around the region, we're all sitting into the 60s, and we are going to continue to warm today. We've got highs going up in the low to mid 80s, sunny skies. We'll have a light breeze at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. The only issue we have, at least today, is humidity and dew point levels are going to be a little high. So it's going to feel a little sticky out there for our Memorial Day, but otherwise Mother Nature thanking our veterans as well by giving us an opportunity to enjoy a day before we see more rain in the forecast. We'll talk about those rain chances in detail with the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Amber?
Thanks, Chris. The Southeast Kansas Humane Society yesterday held a cat cafe. The goal is to encourage the adoption of cats at the facility. Adoption fees for the friendly felines were reduced down to only $25.
So right now during this time of year it's kin season, so there's going to be a lot more kins that we see. Usually we hold around 30 or so cats. We do try to get some fosters out here, so it's always a good way to help out us, especially is our foster programs.
All available cats are spayed, neutered, microchipped, and up to date on vaccinations. The 40th celebration of Mission Days kicked off last week and continued all weekend. The event celebrates the history and heritage of the founding of Osage Mission in St. Paul, Kansas. Those who attended were met with activities for all ages, as well as live music and Saturday events, wrapped up with a fireworks show.
This is a family-friendly event. It's also a good time and completely free. That's the greatest part about it, in my opinion, is that because of donors and sponsors, we're able to provide everything for free. Inflatables, kids activities, and just the camaraderie and community pride that comes with an event like this, hosted in such a small town but drawing such a large crowd.
Sunday's event began with a church service and a Mission Days golf tournament. Friends of Crawford State Park are putting up flags in honor of Memorial Day. The flags went up at 8 a.m. each day during the weekend and came down at 7 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. The flags will come down at 4 p.m. today. And in honor of Memorial Day weekend, volunteers from Peace Church Cemetery Association and the American Legion placed flags at over 24 veterans' headstones at the Peace Church Cemetery Saturday. Volunteers with the Peace Cemetery say they aim to honor and tell the stories of those who are laid to rest there, starting from the first grave that dates back all the way to 1846 and to the most recent one in 2005. Also taking place at the Peach Church Cemetery after the flag ceremony was the Veterans Tour. The tour takes a look at the lives and careers of 10 veterans who are buried at the cemetery who served in 4 different wars in our nation's history.
If it wasn't for the veterans of this country, we wouldn't have the freedoms that we have today. So we want to honor them for their sacrifices that they made, whether they made it through a war and lived out their life or whether they died in a war. We want to honor them because they were here to help protect us in this country, and so we could go on further and live our lives as we do today.
All that was asked of the public was that they make a small donation towards the maintenance of the cemetery. People had the opportunity to learn more about the plants of Missouri. The Missouri Department of Conservation held a native plant sale at the Shoal Creek Conservation Education Center. Attendees were encouraged to come and find native plants that they could add to their own landscaping. Vendors were available to help talk about the benefits of planting native species.
Seems like every time we have it, we get more and more people, which is a really exciting thing, because not only is it bringing people to the center to get outdoors and explore, but also it's adding native landscapes, native plants to these landscapes, which is awesome for our pollinators and our wildlife. So again, we just couldn't ask for better.
The Missouri Department of Conservation regularly hosts native plant sales like this across the state. The Shoal Creek Conservation Education Center hosts sales like this twice a year. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour in the KOAM Morning News. A senior center hosted a quote-unquote senior prom and even crowned a queen and king. Plus, a Virginia nursing home just gave its residents a night to remember.
The staff put together their very own senior prom and even crowned a queen and king. Shelby Martin has more on this special event.
Blue Ridge Rehabilitation and Nursing Home rolled out the red carpet, holding its very own senior prom. Residents even voted on a prom king and queen, the crowns going to Ivan McDormand and Lily Harvey.
Everybody in the building was on board. We were so happy. This today melted my heart. There wasn't a dry eye when we announced the king and queen in that room. And a lot of them didn't attend the prom.
Well, I didn't have one. I didn't graduate. Well, we've been having a prom night and eating and dancing.
Others shared similar stories, like the Burnett's, who have been married for 29 years.
I didn't go to a high school prom.
I went to mine, but he didn't go to his.
Yeah, no.
And I figured it would be a great opportunity for us to get together as a couple.
Attendees loved the music, the dancing, the food, and of course, getting dressed up.
What do y'all think of my hair?
Through donations, staff were able to provide free formal wear for every attendee.
We want to make sure that we involve all the residents and that everybody had a chance to, pick a dress out or a suit, because, all ladies like to dress up every once in a while. So.
And residents like Kathleen Griffith were quick to share their excitement about the event.
It's been good. I really enjoyed myself. And I know my daughter did too. She was up there dancing too.
Yeah, everybody deserves a night out to just let loose and dance.
Yeah, good to have fun. You got to keep our elders, active as well.
Keep them young at heart too. So
exactly. Well, we have got ourselves a pretty decent day across the area, and then we'll see more rain chances moving in. Yeah. We're going to take a look at that forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is 7:41 now on this Memorial Day Monday, and we are taking a live look from our camera on top of the Cornell Complex. It is, of course, in downtown Joplin. Got a bit of a breeze out there. It is otherwise sunny and clear and mild as we get our day underway. MoDOT camera, 32nd and Range Line, also looking pretty good so far. We've got this truck. There have been very few cars out there. Of course, it's Memorial Day. A lot of folks are at home. Not everybody has the day off, but many do, and so roads have been pretty deserted this morning. MoDOT camera, US 60, Missouri 59, looking back to the west in the O-Show. Also looking fantastic. Clear skies across the area, and the future track is in agreement with that. No clouds out there at all. Today is going to be relatively pleasant, and it's going to be warm. It's also going to be a bit muggy. We're looking at higher humidity and dew point levels today. Not overly so, but still muggy nonetheless. Then as we head toward about 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, we see these clouds rolling into southeastern Kansas, and then we see some showers out there. Showers, some scattered thunderstorms possible, no severe weather expected. The bigger concern is going to be the possibility of maybe some isolated or localized flash flooding, because between 8 a.m. and noon, as you can see, this activity doesn't really move a lot, and if it really does manage to train over these locations through the first half of our Tuesday, then localized localized flash flooding will be possible. It'll clear out by the afternoon and will be partly to mostly cloudy through the evening on Tuesday. Then overnight, clouds increase again, and then take a look. More scattered showers and thunderstorms for the first half of our Wednesday. And again, no severe weather expected, but we could still see some heavy rain out there, and clouds begin to return Thursday ahead of more scattered showers and thunderstorms. Taking a look down the road, again, we'll have thunderstorm chances through Saturday, a pause on Sunday, more next week. Nothing screaming severe weather at this point, but of course, we're still in severe weather season. We'll keep an eye on all that for you. Low to mid 80s today, low 80s tomorrow and Wednesday. That's a check of your forecast. Now here's Amber with Consumer Watch.
The United Auto Workers Union is accusing Mercedes of interfering in a union election at 2 of its factories in Alabama a week and a half ago. The UAW claims the German automaker intimidated and coerced workers to vote no. The union filed an objection with the National Labor and Relations Board asking for a new vote. Mercedes says more than 90% of their workers participated in the election and majority of them voted against the union. Walmart and Capital One have ended a credit card partnership. The deal, inked in 2019, made the banking company the exclusive user of the retail giant's consumer credit cards. But Walmart sued Capital One last year, seeking to end the agreement, claiming the bank delayed the processing of payments and servicing accounts. And if you barbecued this Memorial Day weekend, you may have noticed an uptick in prices at the grocery store. All the basics like meat, hot dogs, buns, and consignments will cost you an average of just over 10% more compared to last year, according to Data Assembly. The biggest increase, though, is relish, which costs about 50% more this year compared to last year. In some areas, a 32-ounce bottle of Heinz organic ketchup is selling for more than $10. Inflation is still keeping a tight grip on the nation, with higher than average food prices eating a hole through many wallets. Fox News correspondent Chanley Panther takes a closer look at the new research highlighting how it could be impacting people's diets.
For many Americans, trips to the grocery store can be a trying time amid ongoing inflation.
I want to ensure that I can feed the kids for a reasonable price.
It's something the latest Consumer Food Insights report from Purdue University is shining a spotlight on, with researchers studying how Americans feel about their diets.
We find 65% of consumers give them their diets really high scores, between a score of 7 and 10.
But officials say that's down about 4% from a year ago.
We have slightly fewer people telling us that their diets are thriving, slightly more people telling us that their diets are suffering relative to a year ago.
The data is leading researchers to suggest,
despite spending more, they may be making sacrifices in terms of the quantity and quality of the foods that they're purchasing.
And this could create larger gaps in people's diets. For instance, the National Institutes of Health already reports most Americans aren't eating enough fiber. For those looking for added benefits from what they consume, scientists say a growing number of shoppers are pivoting to what's called functional sodas.
A functional soda is any kind of carbonated beverage format that we add something to for the purpose usually of improving health, increase things like fiber content.
Meanwhile, in an effort to win back customers who are buying less, companies like Target and Aldi have begun lowering prices on hundreds of everyday items. I'm Chanley Painter, Fox News.
We'll be right back with more after this, but first, let's take a look at the market prices before opening bell. A man's caught on camera close call with a marine mammal has caused the maritime hijinks to go viral, but not in a good way.
Jeremy Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
Have you ever seen a swimmer try to body slam an orca?
Me neither, because frankly, it's just not done. However, a New Zealander was recently slapped with a fine and put on blast on social media after the country's Department of Conservation shared video showing the man leaping from a boat in what they call an attempt to body slam one of the mammals. In a release, the agency did a deep dive on the incident, calling the man's actions stupid, irresponsible, and a shocking disregard for the orca's welfare. Social media users overwhelmingly agreed, with most slamming the alleged body slammer, but with some also decrying the $600 fine levied against him by officials as simply not enough. Now to some more positive maritime news. The wreck of one of the most storied U.S. Navy submarines of World War II has been found. The USS Harder was sunk in a battle in the Philippines in 1944 and was thought lost to the ages until recent data was provided by the Lost 52 Project, a group efforting to find all 52 U.S. submarines lost in World War II. 8 decades later, the sub, which had the motto of "Hit 'em harder," was found sitting upright and mostly intact 3,000 feet down in the South China Sea. Finally, it wasn't a long-lost ship found by this scuba diver, more like a long-lost chip, so to speak. Alex Lundberg discovered this massive splintered mastodon tusk while diving off the coast of Venice, Florida. The 4-foot, 60-pound prehistoric fossil was found in roughly 25 feet of water in an area Lundberg says is typically known for shark tooth discoveries. He plans to report his find to the Florida Museum of Natural History and is hoping they'll let him keep it. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Wow, that's pretty cool. It really shows of how big the ocean is.
Yeah. We're finding lost submarines and also mastodon teeth. And then that guy with the orca, man, that is not cool, bro. I mean, I think he's figuring it out, but not cool at all. Also not cool are temperatures. We're getting into the end of spring. We're settling into summer out there, and it is going to start to warm up across the area. Let's start, though, with a look at the future track, because as we go through today, we're actually going to be clear. We're going to be warm and a bit muggy. Temperatures in the low to mid-80s. And then as we head toward tomorrow morning, clouds increase, and we're looking at the possibility of some scattered showers, maybe a rumble of thunder or two. No severe weather is expected, but we could see these train, though, over the same areas, so some localized flash flooding will also be possible. And this will last through the first half of our Wednesday, with this activity gradually clearing out by the afternoon. And it will be about partly cloudy as we head into the evening hours on Tuesday. Clouds increase overnight, more scattered showers and storms as we get our Wednesday underway. Again, no severe weather out there, but at least the first half of the day, a little bit on the wet side for some of us before that clears out ahead of more storm chances on Thursday. We'll have another look at your forecast and the news you need to know right after this.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. A serious crash on I-49 leaves multiple people injured and having to be transported by a helicopter. The incident happened around 11:30 a.m. Sunday morning near the I-49 mile 10 mile marker. Deputies tell us the accident involved a van and an SUV. Traffic was diverted as emergency crews worked to help the occupants and clear the highway. Medical transport helicopters and ambulances were observed leaving the scene. Bates County law enforcement is assisting in the investigation into a small plane crash near the Butler Airport. Officials say they were alerted to the incident around 1 p.m. Saturday afternoon. The pilot was not injured and was in fact able to parachute from the plane prior to the crash. Federal agencies including the NTSB and FAA are conducting an investigation. Many Elk River campers started their day packing yesterday. Floating and canoeing trips were canceled because of the severe weather that hit the area on Saturday night. Some campsites asked visitors to evacuate the grounds as the river levels were growing in the early hours of the day. Some campgrounds say they were sold out because of the holiday weekend, but they prefer to be cautious and avoid putting their customers at risk.
And we've got, again, those scattered showers and storms as we head into tomorrow morning and again Wednesday morning. The good news is, again, no severe weather expected out there. Highs today, low to mid-80s. It's going to be a bit on the muggy side, but otherwise sunny skies. And then we'll have those thunderstorm chances continuing through at least Saturday, maybe a break on Sunday, and we'll have more scattered storm chances next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And again, nothing screaming severe weather at this point, but we are still in severe weather season, so we'll keep a close eye on all of these thunderstorm chances for you as we head through the next several days. But enjoy today. It's going to be a nice one.
Oh, yeah. 2 pink dolphins, a mother and daughter, were rescued after being trapped in a Bull Olivan River. The mother and daughter dolphins were released into a river in the Amazon after biologists, environmentalists, and authorities rescued the trapped aquatic mammals.
Floods hitting Bolivia in April carried them likely hundreds of miles away from river waters that are more like their habitat. Before being transported to safer waters, residents came out to say goodbye to them with some Bolivian flags. So it's good news that they did get back to where they belong, because they do not want to be where they don't belong. They're dolphins.
That's true, but I'm just happy they're together, mom and daughter.
Absolutely. It is fantastic. Well, thank you so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We will be back with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great morning and an even better day.